let's go over to the non-member waiting lobby for a little bit. Why don't we talk to Eric from Prince Edward Island? Welcome, Eric. How are the mussels up there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ooh! I tried to call in the last time was around December, and there was some problem with it.
All right, very good.
Uh, okay, so actually, I had mussels this year.
You haven't had mussels this year. Okay, that's fair. Still allowed.
Yeah, well, I actually, I'm usually more a lobster guy, more than the mussels.
Fair. Fair. What's on your mind today, Eric? Did you have a question for me?
Actually, a couple ones. First one is you have. I was kind of funny because your previous caller was talking about radical leftists and how they de-radicalize. I'm actually libertarian socialist, and I'm actually more in the camp that we should abolish capitalism completely.
Okay.
Now, my question to you is real. I've listened before in why you are not a socialist.
Right.
And I have been always wondering is what do you have against having the worker owning the means of production?
I don't have anything against it if that's a decision made by the organization as to how they want to be organized. What I'm against is having a legal dictate from the government that says every business just has to be divvied up among the workers.
But the capitalist system dictates that we have this theoretical situation where you have a parasite dictating everything under business control. And every single revolution beforehand, you had to have a revolution to establish. Capitalism had to be established through revolution. So why?
Well, they
So
can
why
try to do
socialism?
I mean, if I guess the socialists could try to establish it via a revolution if they want. That they could do that. But I'm not sure that that means that that is the correct thing to do. I don't know that I follow. I mean, it's very authoritarian. I'm an anti-authoritarian. So for me to say the government's going to come in and tell private business owners, you have to give your business to your employees and divvy it up, that to me is
But
very
on,
authoritarian.
but on occasion is does not advocate uh, for government. They actually want to abolish unjust hierarchies.
Okay, so you can do that by through labor law. You can do that in a whole bunch of different ways without the authoritarian crackdown of divvy up every business.
But if you use okay, you just said that you want to use law, correct?
I want to
To
use
sorry
law
to
to do what? Now, so it sounds like you want to back me into a corner where you're going to say, you said you're against the government mandating a worker-owned business, but you're okay with the government mandating labor law as if it's some kind of double standard. But my point is, the government saying this is how you have to give away your business, that is very different than saying we are going to provide a regulatory framework to ensure fairness and safety for employees, et cetera. We're fundamentally talking in shades of gray. So
okay.
yeah,
So would it be an agreement, for
okay.
example, like in Jared Corbyn, who said that we're going to use government money to fund socialist enterprise where worker co-ops type of deal. Like, are
I
you
have no
or
problem. I have no problem with a government that says we are going to encourage worker co-ops with some financial incentives. The devil is in the details. I don't have a problem with that fundamentally. No,
okay? Are you also in agreement? Okay, have you read the book David Graeber's book, 5,000 Years of Debt,
I have not.
or
I have not.
have you heard of it before?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, what do you think of the concept of wiping all debts every 7 years?
Okay, that's a totally different issue, and I can't deal with that. That's a completely different thing. I'm not
Okay.
sure about just why. I don't know why we would wipe everyone's debt every 7 years. That seems to encourage extremely irresponsible financial behavior. I don't know why we would do that. Eric from Prince Edward Island, thank you so much from the call, for the call rather.